In this video we're gonna have unfiltered, unpasteurized talk about Czech beer. Buckle up, we have a lot to drink. Na zdraví. Let's start with some basics. As you might know, to make beer you need water, barley, hops, and yeast for fermentation. Generally there are two types of beer, so-called top fermented beer, or an ale, or a bottom fermented beer, or a lager. Czech Republic specializes in the second type. In fact, one of the most famous lagers in the world, Pilsen lager, was invented here, in a town called Plzeň, which brewery and the city center we visited in one of our videos before. This is a beer that you can still try today, and it is called Pilsner Urquell. And because it is the most sold Czech lager in the world, they make about 3.5 million hectoliters of beer per year, we feel like enough was said about it. And today we're gonna focus on beers that consistently win prizes at competitions. They're lesser known, but locals love them. Of course, we have to start our video in the oldest monastery and the oldest brewery in the Czech lands, called Břevnov Monastery, that was founded in the year 993. The monks were not able to brew beer here consistently since 10th century. There were a couple of moments that interrupted the brewing process, but I'm glad that the beer is still brewed here. Na zdraví. And the award-winning beer we recommend trying here is called Benedict beer. You don't have to travel all the way to Břevnov Monastery if you want to try it though. It is also available in other pubs in Prague, for example Pivovarský dům on Ječna Street. But because you don't want to be an uncultured tourist, we also suggest you explore Břevnov Monastery, and we're gonna do it now. So let's go! Right now we are in the gardens of Břevnov Monastery, and in this building we have the spring. This is where, according to the legend, Břevnov Monastery was founded by Boleslav II and Saint Adalbert. That spring actually goes through Prague and even wraps around Prague Castle. If you guys remember the deer moat, which is located on the north side of the Prague Castle, it is basically a canyon that was created by Brusnice stream, this little but persistent body of water. If you come here in spring, summer and autumn, it can be a very nice walk because up there they have the apple orchards, so in spring they're all blooming. We are not gonna go there now because today it's quite muddy, and I'm afraid I'm gonna be leaving my steps all over Prague breweries later. This is the Church of St. Margaret, built here in the beginning of 18th century by an architect called Christoph Dietzenhofer. But there used to be an even older church here, constructed by Břetislav I in the year 994. He brought the remains of Gunther of Bohemia here. I wonder if it's the same guy who sings this song. Oh, and fun fact about the guy who founded the monastery, Saint Adalbert, he's responsible for the first ever alcohol prohibition in the Czech lands. How ironic is that? Adalbert thought that the monks liked brewing and drinking beer a little too much. And off we go to our next brewery. We are progressing on our timeline a little bit, and now we are in 12th century. We are in the Strahov Monastery, which was founded in 1143 by Premonstratensian order. I am surprised I still can pronounce that. Right now we are in the brewery of the Strahov Monastery, and as you can see we are spoiled with choice. The beer that you should try here is called Saint Norbert, but they have different types. We went for amber lager. They also make seasonal beers. The beers that they have on tap here are unfiltered and unpasteurized. 95% of all beer brewed by Strahov Monastery is consumed here, and they brew over 1,800 hectoliters of beer annually. We highly recommend exploring Strahov Monastery. They have a lot of sites you can visit, most notably the beautiful library. We visited it many times before. They also have a beautiful viewpoint, a couple of churches, and a picture gallery. Oh, you're still here? Then I'll give you another fun fact about beer. Why did monasteries have breweries? Beer brewing was considered to be a privilege in the Middle Ages. Only a king could grant the right to brew beer. which was usually bestowed upon cities, towns, and monasteries. Monks devoted a lot of time to brewing beer, figuring out the best recipes and making sure its quality is top-notch. And they also drank a lot of it, about 4 liters of beer per monk per day. Even during the period of fasting, they still consumed beer, which was used as a nutrition supplement. Cannot argue with that. The next beer we want to recommend is Radegast, that won the title of the best light lager of 2024, specifically their Bitter 12. In fact, their motto is "Life is bitter, thank God." The god they're thanking is Radegast, of course, who is the Slavic god. You might know him from Lord of the Rings. He looked like this there. We went to try this beer to Radegastovna Peron, which is right next to Andel tram station. Radegast is one of Václav's most favorite lagers, so we were really looking forward to it. They also had a really cheap lunch menu, but first, dinosaur hands. It ended up to be just 14 euros for 2 people, which is a pretty good price, so we recommend it. Our next favorite beer is Kozel beer, specifically dark Kozel beer. It is not a problem to find it even on tap in restaurants. For example, Kozelovna has this beer, as you can tell by the name. But we decided to take a trip to their brewery in Velké Popovice. After they showed us around the brewery, we went to the cellars and tried their fresh, unfiltered Kozel beer. And in the end, met their mascot, Olda, the goat. Our next beer is also animal themed. And let's get to our next beer, but first, na zdraví. As you can see, this one is called Zubr, and this one is very good but kind of hard to come across. We are now right next to the Prague castle in a restaurant called U Labuti. This is one of the few places that has this beer on tap, and it is a shame because this beer won an award, Best Czech Beer of 2023, and I can definitely taste why. We also highly recommend the restaurant. We didn't just come here for beer, we came here for lunch. As you can see, I decided to go with a traditional svíčková. This one was quite cheap, it was 260 crowns, which is amazing price for the area where we are. But if you want to find out where to get an even cheaper meal in Prague, check out our latest video about budget food in Prague. And before we'll go to our last stop, let's chat about the beer a little bit. Czechs are the biggest beer drinking nation in the world, and there are hundreds of breweries and microbreweries all over the country, so even if we wanted to mention all the great beers, we probably wouldn't be able to, because there are just too many. 3 that didn't make our today's video, unfortunately, are Samson, Primator, and Matuška. If you see these beers anywhere, guys, please try them, they're really good. We based our choice of beers on our personal preference, as well as several beer competitions, which we are going to leave down below, so you can check them out and get inspired to try some new beers. It was definitely a little bit harder to find these beers because it's felt like a little Pilsner Urquell epidemic in the past years. Seems like all restaurants in Prague serve Pilsner Urquell, so we definitely spent quite a bit of time researching the places where you should go. We hope you like them. We definitely enjoy these restaurants. Most of them are restaurants and not bars, but if you want to go there just for beer, you can order it and drink it at the bar. Alright, let's go to our last stop. And just when you thought we are done with breweries, we came to Humpolec to visit Bernard Beer Brewery. Ah, that smell makes me very hoppy. So this is their award-winning dark beer, and oh boy, the rich, smooth taste of this beer will drive you absolutely mad. I am already tipsy, in case you couldn't tell. We went on a tour of Bernard Brewery, and our guide showed us the nooks and crannies of their production. To let you in on it, they are self-sufficient and make about 410,000 hectoliters of beer annually, which is about the volume of these tanks multiplied by 1,000. We highly recommend checking out the brewery if you can. Do not forget to book in advance. Bernard is considered to be a medium-sized brand nowadays, but they started from scratch and managed to survive the time when microbreweries and small businesses were being priced out by their bigger and stronger competitors. While we can question some of their marketing choices, they definitely do not let anyone to mess with them, which is very admirable. So this is their award-winning dark beer. In the front room with their beer display, this was the beer that took the most prizes, they told us. In the last year competition, it won the best dark lager of the year. We wanted to make this video just to show that there are many more beers than the usual Pilsner Urquell that everyone wants and should try when they're visiting here. Nothing wrong with Pilsner Urquell, but we thought that other beers also deserve your attention. Thank you so much for watching, and we'll see you in our next one. Bye! Bye!